Linda from paperboutique.blogspot.com. Today I'm making the sympathy card using the wild card and storybook cartridges from Cricut. We're also going to be doing the inside of the card. I saw this sentiment on a rub-on, or it was a rub-on. When someone you love becomes a memory, the memory becomes a treasure. And I just loved it so much that I decided to design the card around it. Well, here are the pieces that we're going to be using today. I used the wild card cartridge, and I used the decal trim card, which is on page 66 of the manual. The great thing about this cartridge is that it's so very versatile. I cut the card at 5.5, and then I cut the liner at the corresponding size. You can also use the envelope. The envelope comes with a liner. If you don't want to use this particular liner, you can make the card without a liner. You can use a frame. This is also a full font cartridge. It is one of my go-to cartridges, and I probably use this cartridge more than any of my other cartridges. Here's what I did from the Cricut machine. This is cut at 5.5 inches, and then the liner is cut at the corresponding size. The papers I've used today are the dark paper is from Basil. This particular pattern paper is from Prima Marketing. It's the Mary Jane collection. And then the embellishment that we're going to be using at a later time is from Aquamarine Dot from Bo Bunny. After you've cut the liner, you cut this at 5.5 and then the liner, you'll end up with a square that's cut out of the inside of this, and the square is 2 3/4 by 2 3/4, and I just used it and put the sentiment on. I used Photoshop 4. This particular font is Georgia, and this font is an antique script font that I have from a Hallmark card program. Of course, you can use any type of word processing program, or you could use rub-ons, or you could use stickers. For the inside sentiment, I used a piece of 5" by 5 1/4 inch paper, and once again, this is the Georgia font, and this is the antique script. Any antique script, or any cursive program would work. I matched the ink to the best of my ability to the outside paper. I really wanted a monochromatic look. I also cut a liner for the left side, which is exactly the same size, 5 inches by 5 inches wide by 5 1/4 inches tall. I also cut a liner for the sentiment that measures 3 by 3. I just went ahead and attached it. Lastly, I cut a 3" corner frame. Let me bring in the cartridge, or the manual here. I cut a 3" frame, a fancy corner frame, from page 61 of the storybook cartridge, and that will be the corner embellishment. Well, let's begin assembling the card. I'm not going to take all of the time here to do an entire assembly. I'm just going to walk through a couple of pieces. The first thing that I did, let me pull my card out here and bring in my Versamark. The first thing I did is I took my Versamark ink and went all around the edges. And the reason I did that is because I didn't have an ink to match. And when you use Versamark, let me bring in the other card here, you get a darker, I think you can see that, a kind of a tone-on-tone look. One thing to remember when you are using Versamark is to let it dry. It's more of a pigment type ink that you can do embossing with, so it takes a while to dry, so you might want to keep that in mind. So the first thing I did that, and obviously let it dry. Then I took the liner, and I have 7 inches of a sort of a felt paper ribbon. I used a piece of tape just to hold it, and then I used my little tape runner on it, and I put the piece of tape on the back to hold it, and then just laid it down with the tape. I'm just not going to take the time to do that today. Then after doing that, with my tape runner, and you could use your ATG gun or glue stick or whatever, I attached the liner to the card front. Then I attached the sentiment to the liner, and the reason I did this, you wouldn't have to, I'll show you, it just makes it a little bit easier to maneuver. When you're trying to get it centered, you can just put it on top, hold it down. See how you like it. You've got a little bit of flexibility how you want to move it around. And then I just did regular, you know, just Scotch taped it down, heavy coating of tape there. And then I taped my liner over the top, and I put my sentiment, just using the glue runner again. And then this is already on. I'll bring in the final product here. And then the last step is I took the embellishment and did some glue. I just used my glue stick in this case and put it right down. But what I thought might be pretty is to do two and do a pop dot to give it some added dimension. And I used my trusty tool to put rhinestones all along, and I tried my very best to line it up. And the card was finished, and once again I'll show you the inside of it. And I'd like to thank you for watching, and please check out my blog at www.paperboutique.blogspot.com for more videos and project ideas. We also have a YouTube channel that you can access through the blog. So thanks again for watching. Bye-bye.